Hello everyone. Really bad news to have to bring to you today. I'm sure it's something that you've not heard. Well, sorry, that's not new to you at this stage. I believe it was about 8 days ago it was now that we were hearing that unfortunately for Spider-Man 2 there's not going to be any more additional story content. So that's coming from Insomniac Games directly when they were talking about their PC ports. So it's really sad to have to hear with such a fantastic game. I really do like Marvel's Spider-Man 2. So to have to hear that there's not going to be any DLC for this game, yeah, it's just really sad there. So it's hard to think about really, and just where to start really. There's been a really bad year for Insomniac Games pretty much. So you might have heard there was a really bad data leak. So that was, just trying to think of a timeline. That was pretty much as soon as Marvel Spider-Man 2 was released, that there was a data leak that revealed a lot about where the game was going to head, so about some DLC plans. But more worryingly, other information that was leaked was actually personal details for employees. So that I believe a lot of passport information was released, as well as stuff like social security numbers, which is, in this day and age, is disgusting to have to hear that people to have to put up with this. So no, that's a real shame there. It was really bad for the team, and I think they've really been trying to pick up the pieces ever since. At the same time, there has been a lot of toxicity in the community for people that play the Spider-Man games. If you're doubtful, you haven't heard about that, go to the Reddit page, what is it, Spider-Man PS4, and you'll see what I'm on about there. It's just constant whinging, complaining. I believe that the voice actor for Mary Jane Watson in the game actually had to resign pretty much, or agree to not do any more content with Insomniac Games for this series, because they were just bullied off. Their character and the models for all of the characters really did look quite vastly different from the first game, being Marvel's Spider-Man 1 now, to going into the second game, or even just, I think, one cameo appearance or so in the Miles Morales game. The character models do look very different, but still, for the voice actor personally to get a lot of shit and then basically be bullied out of their own career, their own job, is, it's terrible, really, and that's probably caused a lot of issues too with the possibility for there to be any DLC, both for the studio to even want to really to provide more content for all the whinging babies that do shit like that and bully women in that way. But also, of course, what do you do? What do you do when not exactly a main character, but a very important side character now isn't going to have the same voice actor? So yeah, it's really no surprise to hear that there's not going to be any additional story content with how bad of a year that they've had. But at the same time, through the data leak, it was revealed that there was going to be a Beetle DLC planned. I think that was one thing that was going to be in the pipeline. I believe last year too, or even 2023, quite late 2023 maybe, there were plans too to be able to have a game it was about the Spider-Verse really. It was called The Great Web, and there was a little trailer released on YouTube that you can still watch. It just looks like some gameplay with multiple characters inside of the Spider-Man 2 universe, or the engine or whatever, but it was just a different story with some voice clips there just telling what it was going to be about. But that had to get cancelled, probably for the same issues there, just about resources now. I think a lot of people have quit or left Insomniac Games because of all the issues, and maybe because of Sony too, possibly. Now that's just me speculating, but I think because Insomniac Games stopped being independent and had to be a part of Sony, or was the choice that was made for Insomniac Games, Sony being they might have had some leverage in having cuts to staff pretty much as soon as the game was released, which would have loaded the dice to not have any DLC, at least for the first couple of years or so. But you know, it is what it is. There's still going to be a Venom game, I believe, or at least that hasn't been cancelled. So hopefully that's something we can look forward to maybe just carry on the Carnage saga that was hinted at in the first, well, not the first game, in Spider-Man 2 now. So it would make sense for that to be where that carries off, because of course, like the Venom movie or the second Venom movie, it would be good to show Venom in a good form there to give a reason for that to be fighting Carnage. So yeah, that's where that can lead, and I guess that just leaves Marvel Spider-Man 3 in a few years to be carrying with Doc Ock, and of course whatever the G serum's going to be used to do from the end of Spider-Man 2 there. So we'll just have to lay and wait on what goes on there, and hopefully not have any delays or cuts to the Venom game or anything like that. At the same time, there's going to be a Wolverine game released, which probably has to be released or announced pretty sharpish now, because you know, I imagine that's where all of their resources have had to be for the past year there, to make sure that can be done, not before any licensing for Marvel characters or such runs out. So yeah, they're probably trying to get that game out. I don't want to say they're going to rush it. We don't really know much at this stage there, but we'll just have to see what happens with that game. Personally, I don't think I'm going to be playing the Wolverine game, because I'm not that invested in Wolverine, to be honest. I only really like Spider-Man things really, and Avengers stuff, but I don't think I'd play Avengers game to really, to be honest there. So I'll just have to lay and wait to see what more Spider news that we get there about movies, about games and such. Let me know if you like these sorts of maybe gameplay voiceover type videos. I might do a few of these there, because it's very fun to do and still just enjoy Marvel Spider-Man 2, of course, there. I might get it on the PC when that's released, which I believe is going to be the 30th of January 2025, and we'll just have to see what sort of mods the community makes. Hopefully nothing too toxic or sexual, which I'm sure there is going to be some of there, but yeah, hopefully the good stuff too there. We shall just have to see. But yeah, let me know how you liked this video. Maybe leave some comments about your own thoughts about everything and how the year's been, and yeah, we'll have to leave it at that for now, to be continued. Thank you. Good night.